Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and today I'm doing a review of the Naked Heart Tarot. Now, I know that there's already plenty of reviews out there, but me, I like putting beautiful images out there, so not necessarily saying, hey, you need to go buy this deck, or you need to, do this and that in order to be your intuitive, awesome self. But, I think this is a really beautiful deck. And actually, I just realized that my nail polish kind of almost matches the heart on the cover. But anyway, sidetrack. I love art. I love things that are beautiful, like visually appealing. I'm a very visual and tactile person. But I think for the most part, I'm very visual. So anyway, I want us to take a look at box, which is gorgeous, and I got this off of Amazon actually. And I think this is the second printing of it, because I have seen the review by Jennifer Ball's Spiritual Garage, and she was comparing this to a previous printing. So some of the images have slightly been tweaked to better accommodate the suggestions that tarot readers had given her. The artist saying, hey, like, what if you just like tweak this image this way? It would just be so much more awesome. So anyway, I want to look at the guidebook first, but this is the inside of the box, and it's a beautiful day, so I'm actually out on my lounger with you guys. So this is the card that came with it, and this deck has been created and set with the intention of providing healing energy, clarity, guidance, and truth. Each card provides insight into the naked heart, where ego is extinguished and purity of light flows within you. I'm glad we found each other. That's so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. The guidebook is really thick, actually, for a little guidebook. And there's a lot of really good information in here. So I actually took a day to actually read, page by page what was in this guidebook. And usually I just, skim through guidebooks because I read intuitively. But if a guidebook is really well written and there's a lot of good stuff to say, then heck yeah, I'm going to read it. And me, I love a good story. And there is a good story in here about how the creator came about creating the naked heart, like where it came from. She was going through a really rough time in her life. She had some ailments, and through the creation of the deck, she was able to be somewhat fully healed by the time the deck was completed. So it's an interesting journey that she talks about. So if you do end up getting the deck, I do highly recommend that. There's different things in here, like how to heal with the tarot, and then going into like the different aspects of the cards. I think there's a lot of info in here, and if you're somebody who's just beginning, this is actually a really good book. So yeah, just kind of flipping through here. Get to understanding the tarot, and then let me see where's our next chapter. It goes into some of the things you may see on the cards, like the elements. Goes into the court cards and the connections, which just it's so in depth. The court cards, instead of it being a page, knight, king, and queen. It's the child, the youth, the mother, and the father. And it talks about the different levels of maturity and why those were chosen instead of the traditional wording. Yeah, and then there's just like astrology, symbology, it's so cool. Oh, and then working with the back of the deck. I've actually done this. Okay, so let me grab one of the cards here. So you can actually do this like little crystal grid. So you can put like a little focus stone here, and then like you could put like little it says like waystones, desire stones, depending on what you want the outcome of the reading to be. So what you could do is you could have your deck over here, and like before you do a reading, like maybe the day before, hours before, minutes before, you could do your little crystal grid, set your intention, and just let those crystals soak into the deck, and that intention and that thought just soak into the deck. So anyway, I thought that was just freaking fantastic. That is so so cool. And it goes into like what stones you could use, you know, to do a little crystal grid. Then it goes into the major arcana. And so let's say you pulled the Fool, which I tend to pull quite a bit. It talks about that ethereal unicorn, what the message could be, the different symbolic keys in that card, additional meanings, a gemstone that is connected to it, a reflection, an element. There is a lot to this guidebook. Like, serious, you guys. Okay, so let me get past the cards here, and then we get into some tarot spreads. So we have the card today, your past, present, and then we have the new moon spread. We have a full moon spread, your traditional Celtic cross, and then I love this one. This is the naked heart spread. So, then your creator, Jillian Wilde. Wow. I, you know, as somebody who's, you know, creating their own deck right now, you know, right now it's just the cards, and you know, it's going to be a little while before I get to making a guidebook, and I didn't want to make something so in depth, you know, because I want people to really use their intention. But, you know, like after reading something like this, I'm like, what? Like, maybe I should do, like, you know, a really in-depth guidebook, you know. But, you know, we'll think about that. That's in the works. So I'm going to put this back in the box here, and I'm going to show you one of the cards. Okay, so it has a matte black finish, and it's not the type of matte where I think like you leave oily fingerprints all over there. I think it's pretty good in that way. Some decks get a little oily there, and it is coated a little bit, so you can feel that it's not gonna fray on you or get chipped, possibly, you know, from extended use. But, you know, it's good quality. I'm not a huge riffle shuffler. I'm a side shuffler, so, you know, I'm not really going to be bending my cards around. But anyway, I know that you guys are here to look at the beautiful images, so that's where we're going now. And then just being out here, and I can hear the wind and the palm trees that are in my backyard here, and it just feels so good. Just the naked heart is just so, to me, earthy. It does have an element of the ethereal to it. Oh, I love this. Love. But to me, I like the Star Child Tarot is very ethereal, whereas this feels more like earth, grounded, you know. And actually, on a interesting note, okay, so I was, you know, that I do tarot readings. You know, hey, head over to my website if you're interested in grabbing a reading. But the day that I got this, I had a couple of readings set up, and I always like to choose a deck based on what I'm feeling from the energy of the person that I'm reading for. And in my head, I kept hearing, like, you need to use this deck. You need to use this deck. Oh, this is so cool. And I was like, yeah, I usually don't, like, if I've never worked with a deck, I'm not going to use it, especially for somebody who's paying me money to, you know, give them a really in-depth, insightful reading, because I wouldn't be comfortable with the cards yet. And, you know, and so I just kept getting this nudge that, you know, as I looked at my other decks, it was like, nope, like, this is the deck you need to use. And I was like, oh, okay. So I literally opened it up. I did my little meditation that I do before a reading, and I did the reading, and as I shuffled the cards and the cards started coming out, Oh my God. Like I was, okay, so this was what I was going to do because, you know, I do video readings. I also do Viber readings too, but I was doing a video reading and I was like, okay, so like if this deck, if it's just, if I'm struggling, you know, I am not going to send this to the client. You know, I will pick another deck that I know that I'm really comfortable with and I'll give them a really good reading. No, 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 no. I was using this deck and boom, it was like boom, knowledge, boom, truth, boom, knowledge. Oh, hey, Loki. And yeah, it was an intense reading. Like when I was done, like I felt like I was sweating, like, you know, my head was swirling. In my heart I just knew it was such a good reading, and yeah, it was. So yeah, this is the first time I've ever just like grabbed a deck and then used it without having even seen all. I didn't even see all the cards. I didn't even have a time to look through it, you know, because I wanted to get my readings done. And yeah, so it's that kind of deck, you guys. You know, if you're looking for a deck and you're not just here to look at the beautiful images, but if you're like looking to maybe get this, I was on the fence about this for a long time, and people would rave about it, and I was like, I don't know, you know, it's not really my thing. Not really my art style. But you know, when this new printing came out and some of the images had been tweaked, and I just started to see this like all over all the, you know, the other tarot readers that I'm subscribed to, all the other woo-woo peeps, awesome woo-woo peeps. Oh, I love that one. That looks like the guy Peanut over at SeaWorld. You know, that I was like, oh my gosh, there is something to this deck. Like I feel a connection. And then when I got it and it was in my hands and I was using it, it was like we knew each other. It was so cool. I just keep seeing Loki in this card, you know. Oh, by the way, I have found out that Loki is actually a good tarot reader. Like Wally wants nothing to do with my cards other than to lay on them when I'm trying to use them. Whereas Loki will, you know, if I fan them out, he'll actually like rub his nose or the side of his face on the card that he wants to pick. So Loki likes tarot readings, you guys. You know who was actually a really good tarot reading companion was our old cat, Presley. You would, you know, maybe fan out the cards and he would take his paw and he would paw the card that he wanted. And I miss that guy. He was such a good boy. Okay, so let me put these cards together. Okay, so let me do a little mini reading for you all. I will pull 3 cards. This will be just a general reading, just so you could see like how maybe I would read the cards. And I'm gonna give this a shuffle. Sorry, I'm not trying to wobble this camera, but I am on the recliner that's in my backyard, so it's. Oh, okay. So that's gonna be a card. We'll pull 2 more, and I think this one's sticking out too. And let's put these off to the side, and let's take a look at what we have here. Okay, so we have this one that flew out, which is the Mother of Wands, like the Queen of Wands. We have the 3 of Wands, which interesting. I just watched I was watching part of the September reading by on Sarah Empey, the Itty Bitty Celtic Witch, on her channel, and she had the 3 of Wands, but it was in the Wild Unknown. So it's interesting that. Okay, you guys, 3 Wands cards. What the deuce? Wow. Okay, so wow, this is like a lot of fiery energy here. So we have the Mother of Wands, we have the Youth of Wands, we have the 3 of Wands. So what I'm getting with this, like usually sometimes I see like the kings, the queens, the knights, and the pages as being symbolic, but I really see them as actual people. So I'm seeing like an older woman coming in to help somebody much younger than them in like maybe in a career, like they're trying to find direction in their life, and I really see this person as being like a mentor to them. I mean, it could be their mom, but I'm like, nah, not really. I just see this as somebody who's been in the field that this person is looking to get into, and this person's like kind of taking them under their wing and wanting to like be that parent, be that mentor. They see a lot of potential in this person, and so they're willing to help take the time and energy to bring the potential out of this person. So whoever's watching this, actually I'm seeing that as being you, as being the person who is being under the tutelage of a really awesome person who wants to help you in your new field, whatever field that is that you're wanting to go in, but maybe switching careers somewhere in there. But yeah, that's interesting. Okay, well, that's it for me, spiritual homies. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Naked Heart Tarot. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click subscribe, and don't forget to click that ding, ding, ding notification bell for more videos just like this. And if you want to catch a reading with me, something that's less general and more specific, tailored to you, and then head over to www.kittenswaitsandtarot.com. And don't forget to join that KWT tribe over at patreon.com/kittenswaitsandtarot, where I am creating my own deck. I'm just a few cards away from completing the deck. We will have to be getting to the guidebook, you know, at some point, but right now I just want to get the cards complete so I can get them printed, so I could start posting pictures all over for them. But I do need, as an indie deck creator, a lot of support in order to get that deck off the ground and eventually into everyone's hands. So if you're interested in that, definitely come support that. And you know, if you like what I do here on my channel and you want to see, you know, me do different things, different types of videos, you know, you want me to make them more elaborate, then, you know, maybe think about donating maybe $1 a month, you know, and you get lots of freebies in the process for helping me out. And I really do appreciate everybody who does help me out on Patreon. Okay? All right, so that's it from me, spiritual homies. I will catch you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out!